Hey everybody, welcome to another Diablo 4 build guide video. And what I have for you today for Season 3 is a Bone Spear Necro build, which I believe is going to be very good for the Gauntlet. I've seen plenty of videos with the Bone Spirit, with the new aspects, and I decided to not go Bone Spirit, but use Bone Spirit as more of a utility skill instead of the main source of damage skill. Listen, if you guys want to use Bone Spirit, go Bone Spirit. But I'm going to show you my Bone Spear Necro build, and it solves also all your essence problems with Bone Spear, and you can just basically stand still and just take as much damage as possible and deal damage. So it's tanky. It does damage, and let's just get right into it. Now, this might be a longer video, and because I just want to take my time with it and show you also some gameplay. So let's just get right into it. So this is my standing stats if I was to be in combat right now. No damage procs yet, but this is my standing stats as if I was about to enter combat. We got 19,000 attack power, 10,000 armor, 14k life. Now I'm gonna go right to the skills really quick. We're gonna put 2 points into Bone Splinters. We're gonna go Bone Spear, and we're gonna take Supernatural Bone Spear because we need to make also the first enemy vulnerable, and this is gonna be good for even bosses. Not so much for mobs, but for bosses. If you don't care about this and you have another way to make them vulnerable, you can take Paranormal Bone Spear, which will probably deal more damage, and you get the extra 5% crit chance, and you have 2 extra projectiles. We're going to take Imperfectly Balanced, Unliving Energy, and Hued Flesh, 1 point into Blood Mist, because in these Nightmare Vaults, you're getting stunned like crazy, so this is just a get out of jail free card. And here is where we're going to use our, this is where our S's generation and cooldown reduction is going to happen as well with rapid ossification. But so Bone Prison. So when you proc it, all the enemies inside is going to be vulnerable. And also, we're going to take Ghastly Bone Prison. It says if an enemy is trapped by Bone Prison, you gain 25 essence plus an additional 5 per enemy trapped. Now, if you don't have a Nessus problem, aka you have the Starless Sky, you can take this out and put Dreadful Bone Prison, where all your cooldowns with it'll reduce all your active cooldowns for up to 3 seconds every time you proc Bone Prison. So I like to say that this is my close range Bone Spear. We're gonna take 3 points into Death's Embrace. We're gonna be up close and personal to a lot of enemies. We're not gonna play the distance game. And we're putting 2 points into Death's Reach just for the enemies that are in the back. So we cover the close and the distant. 1 point into Corpse Tendrils, and we're gonna get play Corpse Tendrils and make all the enemies vulnerable for 3 seconds. So you have this to make vulnerable, you have this to make vulnerable, and you have Supernatural Bone Spirit to make vulnerable. If you already have so much vulnerable, you could just go for Paranormal, but I'm sticking with Supernatural for now until I find a better way. And again, this is interactive. If you guys have different suggestions, let me know. I'm always open to changing a few things. We're gonna take all these points. This is gonna reduce your cooldowns for every 100 essence spent. We're gonna have more critical strike chance. For each 30 essence you can get cast. After critically strike 3 times, your bone skills deal 15% damage. And we have Evulsion. Your bone skills deals 15% increased critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. We're also taking Bone Spirit. Here is also another essence regeneration. We're gonna put 1 point into Bone Spear, 1 point into Enhanced Bone Spirit, 1 point into Bone Spirit, 1 Enhanced Bone Spirit, and then Dreadful Bone Spirit. So once you use Bone Spirit, you're going to generate 30% of your maximum essence over 4 seconds. You can go for this one if you don't have an essence problem, but I really like this. You just spam it all the time when you're almost out of resource or essence, and then you just pop it and you'll gain it all back. Bone Prison, Bone Storm, I mean. We're going to take 3 points into Inspiring Leader, Standalone, Memento Mori, and then Ossified Essence. So that's the skills layout. Now we're going to go into the gear. Now, again, everybody's gear will be different. Everybody has a different interpretation. This is what I like to run, and let me know any way I could modify it. And this is going to be interactive. I'm going to show you the stats. You know, I watch a lot of build videos, and they don't really go over the stats, but I'm going to do my best. So, this is going to be I'm going to show you the littlest version of the build, and then I'm going to show you different things you can swap out in case you don't have certain pieces. So, we're going to go with Deathless Visage. This is fantastic. It gives you the echoes that leaves a trail, right? And just deals whopping damage. And then you have critical strike damage, bone skills, maximum essence damage reduction. The key stats you want in this build overall is damage reduction, armor, damage reduction from close and distant, and then for your offensive you want critical strike damage, critical strike with bone skills, right? Vulnerable damage, all stats, and intelligence. And I'm going to show you all of that. For the chest piece, again, this is a 3 out of 4. I was hoping to roll total armor, but this is what I have so far. DR, DR from close, DR while fortified, and then control impaired duration reduction. I'm just trying to find a better piece, but that last affix, you want damage reduction from distant enemies, and then the damage reduction while fortified, you want to substitute that. I've been trying to roll total armor, hasn't come up, and then we're gonna rock Disobedience. If you don't have, if you don't have Deathless Visage, this is what you want to run. You want to run a helm that has total armor, maximum life, maximum essence, and cooldown reduction with the Juggernaut, the new Juggernaut aspect. This thing is a monster. If I was to put it on right now, and I'm going to show you, my armor skyrockets. Skyrockets to 19k. On top of that, when all of Disobedience is procced, I have over 25,000 armor. It's probably overkill, but I think it's just pretty cool to see, right? So, Juggernaut's pretty cool. So if you don't have Deathless Visage, you can definitely put Juggernaut on your helm. Alright? I've been swapping them back and forth. They're both good. More survivability, go with Juggernaut. If you want more damage, go with Deathless Visage. For the hands. For the gloves. So you want critical strike chance overall, not against injured enemies. I need to find a new gloves, but this is what I have right now. So you want critical strike chance, lucky hit chance, lucky hit to restore primary resource, and ranks the bone spear. And then I have the aspect of serration. The ossified essence key passive also increases critical strike damage of all your bone skills by 1% per essence above 50. So I really like this one. So that for the gloves, you want those 4 affixes. For my pants, you want Shielding Storm because we're running the Lidless Wall version of Bone Spear. So you want total armor, DR, damage from close, damage from distant. Again, this is 3 out of 4. Looking for new pants, but because we're also fortified because of our pet, damage reduction while fortified isn't killing us that much either. For the boots, I have movement speed, 2 resistance affixes, and then damage reduction while injured. Super clutch damage reduction while injured. You'll just be able to pop a potion before you get clapped. So this is really good. For the amulet, I have a basically DR amulet. I have total armor, damage reduction from close, damage reduction from distant. This is where you're going to put corpse tendrils for that extra 30% critical strike chance. And I have movement speed. Now, the movement speed, I wish it was damage reduction overall, but, you know, it's fine. So this is my defensive amulet. There's another amulet you could use, and it's this one where you have the 3 ranks to Avulsion, which will give you an extra 15% damage multiplier to vulnerable enemies. For your damage amulet, if you already have a lot of DR, you have a lot of sustainability, right? You want essence cost reduction, ranks to avulsion, damage reduction, and I was trying to re-roll that second one, the damage reduction from close. I was trying to get total armor percent. Hasn't come up, so I must have spent like over 100 mil already trying to re-roll this thing. Still haven't gotten it, but this is what I have right now. So either one is good. It depends what you need. I like running the DR one, which means I do a little bit less damage, but I survive a lot longer. And I'm pretty sure with the Gauntlet, you're gonna need to survive as well as dish out damage. So again, you could test it out. You know, the essence cost reduction is fantastic. You know, I have right now my Bone Spear cost 27 essence. With the essence cost reduction, it'll go down to 20. So that's pretty good. So that's my amulet. For the rings, you want critical hit strike damage, lucky hit chance, maximum essence, and resource generation for both. So, and I have the aspect shattered, the shattered spirit. So this is when you cast your Bone Spear, you have the 18 bone splinters that shoots out in all directions. But I don't care about the damage. I care about getting the essence per enemy hit. This is good for bosses and good for mobs because you could just dodge into the boss, cast the Bone Spirit, you'll gain your essence right back. And same thing here. I have critical strike chance, critical strike damage with bone skills and lucky hit chance. And then this one, because I don't have Starless Sky yet, I'm gonna rock Explodes Flesh, where you generate 30 essence when hitting a vulnerable enemy. Every enemy is gonna be vulnerable, pretty much. So that's good. And we're gonna have the Lidless Wall, which we all know the attack speed is good, lucky hit chance for primary resource, maximum life, maximum essence. And then now this is where you want to the weapon. You want intelligence, critical strike damage with bone skills, and vulnerable damage. These are almost all perfect rolled, but this is the 4 affixes you want. And put here the splintering blade aspect. So basically, not the first enemy gets hit, but all the enemies behind the first enemy that get hit will all be vulnerable. So you have the skill where the first enemy applies vulnerable, and now you're also covering the back line, which everybody else gets vulnerable. Now, if you don't want the sword for the extra critical strike damage, you can go for the wand. So, but the same stuff: intelligence, critical strike damage with bone skills, and vulnerable damage. Now, if you don't want to play the littlest version of this, you can go with the two-hander. Same stats. This one I have all stats. I've been trying to re-roll it for critical strike damage, but it's okay for now. I have vulnerable damage, critical strike damage with bone skills, intelligence, and all stats. Now, if you go for the two-hander, you want to replace Shielding Storm with Juggernaut. And you probably want to keep Deathless Visage, or you could run the Juggernaut and the Shielding Storm and get rid of Deathless Visage, because you're going to do more damage with the two-hander anyway. And let's go over the stats. So I have maxed out resistances because of the boots and the amulet and the rings. I have max resistances. Critical strike chance is a little low, all because I don't have it on my gloves yet. But when whoever's injured, I got 40% critical strike chance. But once I get new gloves, this will go up to like 40% or at least. Critical strike damage is at 873. Critical strike damage with bone skills is 150%. Rumble damage almost 120. All damage 115. If you scroll down, damage versus elite 40%, while healthy 87, while injured 125. While healthy, there you go. And also we have damage while fortified. And the reason why is because our pet is going to give us fortified, and I'll go over that as well. On top of that, all damage reductions at 35%, and it'll go more with Bone Spear. And every time Lidless Wall procs with the extra Bone Spear, damage reduction is going to stay up an extra 20% all the time as well. Almost 40% damage from close, damage reduction from close, damage reduction from distant, damage reduction while injured, and damage reduction while fortified. So we are a tanky Bone Spear Necromancer while dishing out very good damage. It may not be barb damage, but it's good damage. And we have lucky hit chances at 25%. Again, swap over to the wand, and this will become 40%, 42% lucky hit essence, and that's it. I'll go over the pet really quick. So here I'm running Tempest and Flash of Adrenaline. Now, the damage bonus is good with Flash of Adrenaline, but I think people are sleeping on Reconstruct. So the way Necromancer work is, you have the barrier going, you have Fortify going, but if you get hit, alright, you could use a potion. But if you were to swap to Reconstruct, you don't need to use a potion, because while you're fortified and barriered, the pet is going to heal you. So, and you don't have to use a potion. So again, you could go Reconstruct or Flash of Adrenaline for the extra damage, and then you want Duration support, Grippling support, Tactical support, and then Tempest. You'll be hitting them every 0.9 seconds. The pet, and then it'll fortify you. It'll give you resource, and if the efficiency, you get more critical strike chance. So this is gonna help as well. And that's the build, guys. And now let's go to a Nightmare Dungeon, just so I can show it to you in action. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the Reconstruct on so you can see how it works. Basically, Flash of Adrenaline, you're gonna gain that damage bonus. So I don't need to show you that. So I'm gonna show you how the Reconstruct works. So let's go. Let's dive right in here. And enjoy the rest of the video.
I'm out of essence.
Oops. That was my bad. I was not paying attention.
I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time. I'm low on essence.
There you have it, guys. Tier 95 dungeon. Let me know what you guys think of the build in the comment section below. Let me know how I could even improve on it. Alright, see you guys in the next one.